will share with you my entire Bottega Veneta handbag collection. Hi friends! If you're new here, my name is Paula. I post videos on handbags, lifestyle hauls, sometimes travels, but generally just your day-to-day life. If that sounds like a cup of tea, please do consider subscribing to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, as always, thank you. Thank you so much for coming back. I'm a massive fan of Bottega Veneta. I love the intrecciato design, the structure, the cleanliness, the simplicity of a lot of their bags. And I am particularly biased towards Tomas Meyer's designs, which is why, save for one, everything that I own from Bottega Veneta comes from his era. And that's not to say that, you know, I don't appreciate Daniel Lee's and Matthew Blase's designs. I really do. I feel like the decades that Tomas Meyer was in Bottega Veneta really created this DNA of, again, structure, simplicity, cleanliness, but definitely Daniel Lee and Matthew Blase, you know, infuse like vibrancy and a new sense of life into the brand. Anyway, let's get to it. So I'll start with the very first Bottega Veneta bag that I ever owned. This is the belly bag in the colorway Anemone. I think this came from the spring-summer 2009 collection. I love the color of this bag. I love the size of it. On camera, it looks bright, but in person, it's actually rather mauve-ish. But I find this colorway to be really nice for autumn. I've used this in summer, but I feel like this is such an autumn color. So inside, it's just one big compartment with a zip pocket at the back. Also, looks like that. And I know there have been complaints about the lining of the older Bottega Veneta bags that tends to create like a certain scent if you store it for too long without using it. I forgot that there's an inner pocket here as well. And I find that to be true even for this bag. But I don't particularly mind. I just put some cinnamon and this bay scented oval from the Peak. Seems to have solved the issue quite alright. Again, I love the design of this bag. It is slouchy when it wants to be, but it can also be, you know, a little bit more structured in a way if you stuff it in a particular way. I love that it falls closely against my body when I use it. There's a certain, you know, softness and suppleness and just overall being buttery to the leather of Bottega Veneta, which I absolutely love. I also love the fact that I can put a lot of things inside this bag and it wouldn't get as heavy as you might think. So for that reason, I find it to be a very, very useful bag. This is definitely a keeper for me. I'm not going to deny that I've been tempted to get a hop. I considered the Jody as well, but I found that the shape of that, save for the knot, is quite similar to the belly bag. So I much prefer getting the hop bag if there's a new one that I would consider. So yeah, this is the belly bag in the colorway Anemone. The next one is this mini Capri in the colorway Milk Chocolate. I find this bag to be absolutely cute, but it can hold quite a lot because inside it is just one main compartment with a small pocket here, quite like the belly bag, and then again, quite like the belly bag, a back pocket right here. This has gold hardware and an adjustable strap. Granted that you can't really use this as a shoulder bag. Well, you can kind of if you're comfortable with it looking like that, but this is really a handbag. Like, it's either top handle or the crook of your arm. I absolutely love the fact that it has that brushed gold hardware, and it took me a while to kind of figure out how to open this. So anyway, all you have to do is this lower part here where the keyhole is. You just have to push it down and then it'll unclasp on its own. I got this from a reseller based in the US, but she's a Filipina, so she does hold like live selling for both her US clients and her Philippine clients. I'll link her Instagram down in the description box. I have gotten a few things from her in the last couple of years. This is one of them. Just like the belly bag, the leather of this bag is so supple and soft and buttery, and absolutely love how the leather of this bag feels against my hand. I've used this a couple of times for quick errands. I cannot use it for longer than that just because I need to be hands-free most of the time when I'm out and about. But if it's just like a quick errand, I find this bag to be very useful. You know, I can just put like my EpiPen, my card holder, my phone, and you know, I'm good to go. This is a little heavier because of all the hardware, which are so beautiful. Look at those details. Add the key. And yes, you can actually lock this thing, but I don't particularly need to. So again, this is the Mini Capri in the shade Milk Chocolate. I do know that this comes in a bigger size. I have not seen that in person, but I have seen photos of it online. So definitely worth looking into if you want like a no fuss, top handle, or crook of your arm kind of bag for quick errands. And the next one that I have here is this knot clutch in jacquard with some wood details and that classic knot that Tomas Meyer's Bottega Veneta was known for. I got this from 2nd Street. Let me check. I think in 2023, was it? Yes, in 2023. And I did feature this previously in an unboxing video. I have not used this, quite unfortunately. But that's really just because I haven't had the chance to, you know, go to a party where this would be useful. So it has just one main compartment, and it's actually quite solid inside. So as you can imagine, it is quite heavy on its own. I suspect that my phone will not fit in here, and that's probably by design. But you can put a slimmer card holder, maybe a lipstick, a really small sample of a perfume, and you can be on your way. So it's really an event bag. It's quite a statement bag for me as well. Like, I love the details of the jacquard. I don't know if you can see that, but there are like swirly designs on it. So yes, this is the knot clutch in jacquard, also from the Tomas Meyer era. And not quite a bag, but also from the Tomas Meyer era. I have this pouch. I don't know what it's called exactly. I guess it's just a plain like makeup pouch, light gray colorway. The intrecciato is limited to like the sides, top and bottom of the bag, and these are clear. There's one pocket here, and because again it's a makeup bag, it's just one major compartment. So in here I just have a bunch of jewelry that I no longer use. I also have, what is this? What ticket is this? Oh, I have an Odawara romance car ticket in here. I used to use this whenever I would travel, but I have since resorted to putting a lot of my essentials into Ziplocs because they save a lot of space. But, you know, I also found this makeup bag to be very useful. And last but certainly not the least, and the only non-Tomas Meyer bag that I own from Bottega Veneta, is this medium Arco in the colorway orange. I guess that's what it is. This was a gift from my mom in 2023, and this is a special bag to me because when I closed this house, this was the bag that I carried. It had all the documents that I needed, my hanko, you know, my essentials, wallet and passport and all of those stuff. I do love the fact that it is structured but also soft. It is structured, but it doesn't look as rigid as most structured bags would go. It has a long set of strap, which makes it really convenient to use as a shoulder bag. And again, this is a recurring thing in my videos. One of the things that I find critical when it comes to bags is just generally if the design allows it to fall a certain way against my body. So I have let go of beautiful bags because they mess with my center of gravity. This bag is one of those bags that actually works for my body. You're probably more familiar with the Arco that has like the bigger intrecciato in this design, or the one that's just like an open tote. I don't have a bag that is of this shape and of this size, which is why I absolutely love this bag and I don't think I'm ever gonna let it go. And inside, let me just unclip this. One big compartment with a zip pocket at the back and a couple of slip pockets. The pocket is not stitched in fully, so it flaps around, which is okay with me. It's a non-issue. The only thing I would say that I don't like about this bag is that in a way it is fussy because you cannot close it without inserting the front strap into this flap. Like, it's just not going to work. Like, you can't just leave it like that. It doesn't work. So in that sense, it is quite fussy, but I don't mind, because when it comes to bigger bags, the idea is that you're not really gonna open it quite frequently, right? Like, you're gonna stuff a lot of your things in it because you're probably gonna go somewhere where you need a lot of those things, which hopefully would mean that there would be a table or like a set of chairs where you can put the bag down and properly open it and get the things that you need. Absolutely love this bag. Thanks to my mom for gifting it to me. Now that I think about it, we are traveling to Aomori later today. I should probably use this. We'll see. So I'm filming this on another day because as I was editing this video, I realized that I skipped out on what is probably my ultimate favorite bag from my Bottega Veneta collection, which is this one. This is the mini Piazza in the colorway terracotta, which is also from the Tomas Maier era. So I got this in 2024 for my birthday, and I've been in love with this for many years. I think I saw this for the first time in 2018. Thought about getting one, but I don't know, for some odd reason, I just didn't bite the bullet then. And then it got discontinued, and then Tomas Maier stepped down, and it got even harder to secure one. It kind of fell by the wayside for me for the longest time until I saw this in Brand Bay in Ueno, and the hardware has that intrecciato print here as well. And then even in the smaller hardware, I'm not sure if that's, I'll try to focus it. And then it has that intrecciato design on the sides. Just like the Capri, the way you open it is you push down on the lower button and then it'll automatically open. So inside it looks like this. It has 3 compartments. The one in the middle is the biggest one. But unlike my other structured bags, which also are compartmentalized, this one is more flexible. So this is relatively slim, if you can see. But that's all right because, again, like the material inside makes it flexible. It has feet as well, which I love. And then for this bag, if I recall correctly, it came in 3 different sizes. So this is the mini, and then there was a small one, and then the medium one. I've seen the small one in person, and to me, it's just a little... It's probably the perfect size in terms of utility, but I have a lot of bags that are of the same size, so I feel like this is in its own category of like being small but still being very functional. While it is small, it can fit quite a lot. This can fit my EpiPen, my card holder, my passport, a power bank, smaller medicines, and my key and lip balm. I've used this quite a lot. I have a lot of photos on my Instagram with this bag, and just like all Bottega Veneta bags, the leather is also really delicious. This bag comes with this strap, and I'll just show you really quickly how that looks like. So this is the thicker one with the intrecciato and a crab claw. But not all Piazza bags have this strap. So some of them have your more typical thinner pure leather non-intrecciato straps, but with the same like crab claw. So I'm very lucky that I found this bag with this strap, because I mean, I still would have bought it if the strap was just like a regular thinner non-intrecciato one, but this just, you know, sealed the deal for me. So yeah, this is my ultimate favorite Bottega Veneta bag, at least in my collection. This is the mini Piazza in the colorway terracotta. I also wanted to take this opportunity to share that I received my very first PR package ever, which is quite something. When I started my channel, I really didn't think about any of those things. But yes, I wanted to thank FANJI Project for gifting me this bag organizer for the mini puzzle bag. Details here. It is just so cute. And this is in the light blue colorway, just like the mini puzzle bag that I have featured in the past. So it's one main compartment with a couple of slip pockets. One of the things that I appreciate about the size is that it doesn't just fit in the mini puzzle bag, it also fits in the Capri bag that I featured earlier. So like so. Which helps because it does tend to lose its shape when I put my things in it. Not because it doesn't have anything at the bottom. It does have a support at the bottom, but just because of the nature of the leather, which is really soft and slouchy. So it can, you know, kind of dent in certain areas. It also fits my micro Velextra Easy Day bag. And just look, it slides perfectly in there. And it really helps to have, you know, bag organizers and inner bags, because if you're particular about keeping the cleanliness of the interior of your bag, they certainly help. You know, in my past videos, I've mentioned that I don't particularly baby my bags, and that's true. But I try to whenever I can. You know, if I can give them extra tender loving care, I would do that. It's just not one of those things that are top of mind for me when I use my bags. But, you know, if I have something like this, why not use it, right? So I want to thank FANJI Project for such a thoughtful gift. I will link all their social media platforms in the description box down below. And so that's everything that I own for Bottega Veneta. If you have any questions, or if there's any particular bag from what I showed you today that you'd like me to do a deep dive on, please do comment it down below and I'll try my best to get to them. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye!